appreciate the last few months. It's been incredible for me, you know. I dropped 3 on that head top. You guys are dropping albums. It's like hello and goodbye. Saying careful with that reply because the pen isn't dry. I'm just letting you know.
Ross has just always been one of my favorite rappers ever.
I'm lying, I'm flying economy. I bet I know who I see.
I appreciate all the love. I appreciate the last few months. It's been incredible for me, you know. I dropped 3 on that head top. These guys are dropping albums. It's like hello and goodbye. I'm saying careful with that reply because the pen isn't dry. I'm just letting you know. That's what I'm on. By the way, let me pump it. Yes, double chrome bracelets. Okay. Cartier that your grandma would wear. Hello. Don't even want to say the price tag. Diamond cross on the jeans. Like, it's just really, I don't know how to explain it other than
I've never seen someone ice rosé, but...
You never seen someone ice rosé? Talk to every jeweler in Miami that has fake diamonds.
Really, they do that?
Damn, white boy. Kendrick done bust you in the head before y'all even finish the publishing splits.
GG's. Roc Nation subpoena is about to be cleared.
But the great position that Drake is in is that all his options are money now. You got Jay-Z's like, yo, comb my hair out. Beyonce, hey, yo, B, comb my hair out. I gotta go dress this nigga Drake. Jay, thank you for going back into whatever hole you crawled out of when you did that like your Jay-Z 30 thing. Where's those people? Oh, nah, Jay got his helmet on. This is what Pharrell said. He got his helmet on. It's wartime. Brother, it's time for another colonoscopy, nigga. Put the dentures back in the fucking little thing with the water. Jay hopped out, got rid of him. All right, man, get out of here. Rocky was fighting the narratives on his first week when it came out. They were like, where's she at? Where's she at? She ain't post a single. He's doing an interview and say, nah, she did post my album. Yo, if I'm lying, I'm flying economy. All of Drake's ops is basically at Delta Economy. Iceman has turned out to be a prophetic album. All of his ops has literally played the script. Even Kendrick, missing in action. 100 million. He says, I guess we got to, he says, I guess I'm the villain. He says, y'all got a new whatever. I guess we got to test whatever. He's like 100 million streams went missing. Nobody got questions. He went missing too. Iceman actually sounds like it was very pathetic. Every single person dissed on Iceman is down horrendous. They're still on their heels responding, or we're seeing how the lyrics correlated to them.
Drake stands. Can only imagine what that feels like. Well, I really couldn't. But, damn, niggas say 3 albums are trash albums, 2 years too late. Hey man, it was fun while it lasted. You're washed. Where's Iceman? There's Iceman.
I don't know, are you putting the Drake beef to rest?
Honestly, I discuss a lot of things. You know, Set in Stone is all about etching a little bit at a time.
I don't understand, you're squashing the beef. So I don't know if that means
Ricky Rose is...
If I had to compare the two, I'd say Rick Ross was more like Biggie, Jeezy was more like Pac. Because Pac wasn't the best lyricist, but you felt it.
Rick Ross looks more like Biggie.
Rick Ross got lyrics, though.
Well, I guess.
I'm surprised you don't like Ross lyrically, man. Ross be spitting.
He's all right, man. He just talk about eating and you know, girlfriend too much, you know? How much can it eat? How much can you smoke? Huh? Like, all right, let's talk about something else. I know you got a Maybach, you got the Aston Martin. Okay, good for you. Damn.
Drake's surroundings are becoming chaotic once more. It appears that he returned prepared to cause a great deal of drama this time. Drizzy Drake took a brief break from the spotlight, remained silent, and essentially observed everything going on in the rap world from a distance after releasing 3 albums on the same night. Drake seemed to be collecting notes while other musicians released projects and dealt with conflicting reviews. Months later, he's making a comeback on live feeds, and the vibe is entirely different. Drake isn't behaving like he came back to make light of the audience. He speaks as though he still has a lot to say, and he didn't take long to make clever jabs at other rappers. Recently, that has become a part of the entire Drake live stream experience. He settles in, strikes up a conversation, and soon a stray is caught by someone in the business. His jokes regarding rappers whose previous projects didn't fare as well as anticipated were already anticipated by fans. But in that exchange, one name was bound to stick out. Ricky Ross is another name for Rick Ross.
I got a question. Would you rather have paddies in your size, enjoy your entire bottle of Luke Belaire, conversating business with the boss, or listening to the vinyl with Ricky Rose and taking your autographed CD home? What would you rather have? As I said on my story yesterday, 22,000 the first week, 20 the second week. Those drastic fall-offs, guys, that you see with a lot of those other artists is when the numbers are inflated. The bots. To me, the new flex is no bot.
According to reports, Ross Records set in Stone sold about 20,000 copies in its first week, and that figure soon became another topic of discussion in the ongoing conflict between these musicians. For the past few weeks, Ross has publicly defended the initiative and challenged the way those figures have been discussed. However, it was obvious that Drake didn't want to ignore that circumstance. Drake seems to make the live stream much more pointed, rather than just clowning the sales and continuing. The jokes were one thing, but then there was a message that seemed to be a warning to any rapper who might be considering answering him. I'm grateful for the past few months. For me, it's been amazing. I dumped 3 on that head top, you know. Just like Hello and Goodbye, these guys are releasing albums. Do you understand what I mean? Additionally, be cautious when responding because the pen isn't dry. I just wanted to let you know. I'm on that. Let me pop it, by the way. Yes, bracelets made of double chrome. Alright, your grandmother would wear a Cartier. Hi there. I don't even want to mention the cost. The jeans diamond clutch, huh? Drake said, Yo, be very careful with your response. The ink on my pen isn't dry yet. That's a wild statement because it implies Drake thinks he still has more material ready in case anyone decides to jump into the situation. Additionally, he didn't have to mention every individual he might have been referring to. People were wondering who might be the next after reading the post. A declaration like that in rap has the power to immediately draw fans to every post, lyric, live stream, and interview in anticipation of another move. Drake returned with slick rhetoric, insults, and a clear indication that whatever tension has been developing behind the scenes is still unresolved, at least from his point of view. Man, hurry up. Does anyone in Drake's camp genuinely want to be honest with him anymore? Moments like those are precisely the reason why people continue to claim that Drake is surrounded by yes men from the outside looking in. The critique is that no one seems to be prepared to draw him aside and say, maybe this isn't the move right now. Context is crucial in this situation, regardless of whether he speaks with specific bloggers or members of his personal circle. A comment like this might have had a very different impact 2.5 years ago, before the Kendrick Lamar feud drastically altered the discourse around Drake. Many rappers might have taken Drake's suggestion that his pen was still loaded seriously at the time, and the response would have been dramatic. You will be afraid. Your family is relocating abroad. You will never again come into contact with a microphone. The kind of enthusiasm that might kill a career. That's obviously hyperbolic fight rap rhetoric, but Drake's message seems to be intended to convey just that. The issue is that, given everything that has transpired in public since 2026, some listeners simply aren't responding to that forceful discourse in the same way. Drake is not on your level. No. I can see it in your eyes. You see. The numbers may be confusing to you, and the market is overflowing with false numbers. 50 or so. That's nothing. Recall what I said. The streets are just that, streets. Hey, that sentence just so happened to come true. Before Aiden Ross had ever streamed, he claimed that I was Aiden Ross. However, Ross's streaming seemed a bit out of control this week, don't you think? Yes, Ross's streaming appeared a bit bizarre. I'm at a loss for words, but yes, Ross came out and the numbers on streams were insane. Now, I think that sentence kind of hits differently because, in my opinion, a recent Drake song performed better than the entire album. The number of album streams for Ross was infamously low. Allegedly made less than $10,000. There's nothing to worry about, man. Ice. Nothing can fill in a small blank. Drake supporters who like Ross won't be with him. It seems like I just saw that curl laughs. Thus, everyone's sales who were once Drake's admirers. At least 50 to 80% must go. The truth. Drake could have simply kept the whole thing humorous and walked away with a joke, which is where situational awareness comes into play. Yo, you rappers that hate me flopped. You talk so much about me, but your album flopped. You couldn't sell what I sold, he could have remarked. That would have been sufficient. No dramatic warning, no extra tough man vibe, and no justification for fans to start discussing everything that transpired following the Kendrick fight. Drake doesn't need anything else to make that kind of flex because he has the commercial numbers and enormous career accomplishments. Therefore, it would have been more difficult to stick to sales anyhow. However, detractors will inevitably link his remarks to the lawsuit and wonder if that menacing rapper persona still has the same weight whenever he begins to make statements that seem like warnings. That is the uncomfortable aspect of the entire circumstance. Once the public environment surrounding you is altered, you have no influence over how people understand what you say. However, Drake is in a terrific position because all of his operations are now reacting. Jay-Z said, "Yo, comb my hair out, Beyonce." "Hey, B, comb my hair out." Drake, "I have to go deal with this." Thank you, Jay, for returning to whatever pit you managed to escape when you performed your Jay-Z 30 thing. Where are those individuals? Oh no. Jay put on his helmet. What did Farrell say? He put on his helmet. It's a period of war. It's time for another colonoscopy, brother. Replace the dentures in the small water-filled container. Jay got rid of him by jumping out. Okay, dude, leave this place. Where's she at? Where's she at? She ain't post a single, he said in an interview. Nah, she did post my album. Yo, if I'm lying, I'm flying economy. Rocky was fighting the narratives during his first week of release. Drake's operations are essentially all at Delta economy. Iceman has proven to be a prophetic record. His operations have all literally followed the script. Kendrick didn't even do anything. 100 million. I guess we got two, he adds. I guess I'm the villain. Y'all got a new whatever, he says. We had to test whatever, I suppose. In any case, he says, 100 million streams vanished and no one asked questions. He went missing, too. Iceman actually sounds like it was very prophetic. Every single person dissed on Iceman is down horrendous. They're still on their heels responding, or we're seeing how the lyrics correlated to them. Drake may be trying to remind everybody that his pen is still dangerous in a lyrical sense, but some fans are hearing something completely different. Instead of thinking Drake is about to destroy somebody on a record, they're cracking jokes about lawyers, paperwork, and courtrooms. That's not exactly the reaction you want when you're trying to sound intimidating. And that's why the tough guy angle is becoming a much harder sell. And this is where the whole situation gets even more embarrassing for Rick Ross because Drake's Iceman is being talked about like another monster release. While the conversation around Ross set in stone has been the complete opposite. Rick Ross the Boat says that if he wanted to sell 300,000 copies the first week like all these other guys, he could have done that too. Who told Rick Ross that it was a good idea to take a 20-year hiatus from music before releasing an album and attempting to go on tour? He definitely needed Drake. Alright, so you don't think of Ross as a flop, but he needed a Drake care package. He needed one track of Drake. He needed a stimulus package. Rick Ross is trying to jump ahead of a flop. I've never seen this before. There's no proper single rollout. It's kind of mess. I mean, Ricky, don't you see what the real boats in the industry are doing? Jay-Z didn't release an album this year. We pulled the streaming report for Setting Stone first 2 weeks with 63.5 million streams. That equates to approximately 42.5K albums sold, which does not include the physical products. That's equivalent to Ricky Rose selling 22,000 the first week and 20 the second week, which is no fall off. It's a long game we playing here, guys. Laughter, Rick Ross, low sales. People are saying, people being Ebro, one of them, that it might be tied to Drake and the algorithm and Drake. Rick Ross 50 Cent laughed saying that Rick Ross had 2,000 albums sold, right? But the numbers come back as saying it's 17,000, which is still low, the lowest selling of his career by a lot. I would also argue that DJ Khaled, since he's really close to Jay-Z, he probably got the word too. Yo, don't even drop this year. Which is why he probably pushed this album back and gave you that flop release date, Ricky. Allegedly, this is not the same reg. This is lowest week selling ever. I don't know who he's talking about, because if he's talking about Drake or if he's talking about 50 Cent, I don't understand what is he actually talking about, because both of these guys are moving whatever it is that they're pushing. I haven't heard Drake or 50 Cent flop on anything that they touched in the last couple of years. Screaming Drake supporters immediately jumped into the debate, arguing that Iceman showed just how massive the gap still is between Drake's commercial pull and what Ross was able to generate with his latest project. But the conversation got even deeper when Ebro discussed how algorithms and today's streaming environment can affect what listeners actually discover and play. That adds another layer to the debate, because album sales aren't as simple as dropping music and waiting for people to buy it anymore. Rick Ross, low sales. People are saying, people being Ebro, one of them, that it might be tied to Drake and the algorithm and Drake. Rick Ross. 50 Cent laughed, saying that Rick Ross had 2,000 albums sold, right? But the numbers come back as saying it's 17,000, which is still low. The lowest selling of his career by a lot. Right now, are you saying that the algorithm is against Rick Ross? I would say so. And so that, and you're saying that because he talked about Drake, the algorithm is against, and it because he talked about a lot of things that just weren't geared towards the project as it should have been. Why are you smiling, Nick? Am I bugging? Man, why is the algorithm and Drake being brought up? Man? Feeling real though? No, but no. It's laughter a thing. It's a real thing. Even like when he went to the Joe Budden podcast this past week, that was a thing that got clicked. I think people are watching Rick Ross to hear what he's gonna say about Drake, but a lot of the clips that I've seen aren't really talking about Drake. Man, y'all need to get back to reality, man. Y'all got to get back to reality, man. Hip-hop media is in shambles. They don't even know what dick to ride. They don't know what it is. They don't know if they should hate Drake, try to apologize to Drake, stand another rapper. That car show will continue, of course, and this also goes back to that pick-a-side culture. Bro, I'm just watching. Y'all be music and singing, just having a good time. Just watch him trying to explain. Listen, he's doing absolutely fine too, and he's got a lot of other going. Yes, when you're diversifying and you don't have all your eggs in one basket, he's going to get a lot of bookings and things to do. So everything that anybody who stood on the other side of Drake does, they're looking at to poke fun at if it's not at Drake's standard today. Playlist placement, recommendations, viral records, fan interest, and algorithms can all influence how far a project travels. Still, none of that stopped people from calling Set in Stone a flop. Once those reported numbers started circulating for a second week, Ross became an easy target for memes, jokes, and criticism, especially from people who were already waiting for an opportunity to clown him. And here's where things get extra spicy. Ross already has public rivalries involving two gigantic names, Drake and 50 Cent. So disappointing numbers were always going to become ammunition. Some fans are even arguing that Ross spending so much energy taking shots at Drake and 50 Cent may have created more attention around the beef than around the actual music. That's an opinion, not something the sales numbers alone can prove. But you already know how rap fans move. Once they smell blood in the water, everybody starts talking. Things are not looking good for the rapper Rick Ross, as he has just announced a recent world tour with him struggling to sell any tickets. Now, as you can see right here, this is how one of his venues are looking for a show happening in Miami, Florida, with him barely selling out any tickets and all the green dots indicating seats that haven't been purchased yet. And Rick Ross and his team look to be so desperate to the point that now they're literally offering discounts for any type of seat, with them offering a buy one get 50% off. And with this now occurring to Rick Ross, a lot of people are thinking that the reason as to why he is falling off so bad is because he has been dissing Drake nonstop. For example, in a recent interview, he literally called out Drake and said that his brand new album Iceman was horrendous. "We not letting the up on you. You hopped in beef for no reason. You inserted yourself when you had nothing to do with this, so let's break this down. You did 1.8 in your first day, which equivalates to 1,220 albums sold. The biggest flop of them all, Drake's supporters are clowning Ross because of their ongoing tension, while 50 Cent side has another reason to bring up the numbers. John Crazy. These say they could sell 300 gazillion streams in the first 3 weeks. But where your clothesline it then? Why you ain't selling no shoes? You should be to sell protein shakes if you sell that many streams. Y'all should be selling peptides. You should be to sell anything if those numbers weren't inflated. Now Google all of their other assets outside of music. They spirits business, clothes business, this business, everything else. SMS audio out of bend, because that rivalry has been running for years. Suddenly, Set in Stone isn't being discussed only as an album anymore. It's becoming another chapter in two separate feuds. That's brutal timing for Ross because every sales update gives his rivals' fans fresh material. Instead of everybody debating which songs were the hardest, social media is arguing about whether the project performed well enough to justify all that talk. Meanwhile, Drake's Iceman success is being used by fans as the ultimate comeback whenever Ross' name enters the conversation. And the louder those comparisons get, the hotter both rivalries become. You need more people. And if you're a Drake fan, instead of somebody who's going to defend every single move he makes, you have to understand why critics thought this moment came off corny. Ross, the internet will likely try to make something of you being like, hey, play that joint without the Drake vocals. I let DJ Nasty call that out when I said that on stage. You let me know what we're going to do, DJ Nasty. We're doing Aster without Drake's vocals, and you're encouraging the fans to sing along with our little man.
Sing, little man.
Go ahead. Laughter Drake, if you're listening to this, homie, listen to me. My shine is the biggest in the game on speed dial, but the Studio Montana, called my Drake cool me before I knew him. I would love to throw in right now. That's when you had the big nose. But you were doing this the first time I'm going to say that. I keep thinking that through. I'm like, man, why don't y'all make a song? So I don't know what happened to the point where y'all hate not making a song. Drake ain't cool like that. Like what's laughter? The biggest problem is that people still remember what was publicly argued during the lawsuit, and the internet keeps receipts. This wasn't some random blogger describing Drake's emotions. This was language presented by his own legal team in court. As a direct and approximate result of defendants' conduct, Drake has suffered significant general, actual, consequential, and special damages, including without limitation impairment of reputation and standing in the community and in his profession, personal humiliation, mental anguish and suffering, emotional distress, stress, anxiety, lost earnings, and other pecuniary loss. That's why the new battle-ready talk is getting such a mixed reaction. Critics are looking at those two versions of Drake and saying they simply don't match. After the battle, his lawyers described serious alleged harm and emotional distress. And now Drake is back on live streams talking like rappers need to be careful because his pin still has something waiting for them. That's a difficult switch to sell when the lawsuit is still fresh in people's memory. Maybe if 10 years had passed and the entire situation had faded into hip-hop history, fewer people would care. But in 2026, fans remember exactly what happened. Screenshots travel fast, and every tough statement is going to get compared with those court filings. And Drake wasn't finished there because the live stream also had people convinced he was throwing slick shots in Jay-Z's direction. And that's where this gets even more interesting. First, don't automatically accept anybody's claim that Drake and Jay-Z definitely have no issues with each other because outsiders can't know everything happening behind closed doors. At the same time, it's also important not to present fan theories as confirmed facts. What we can say is that listeners have been analyzing Drake's comments, lyrics, and moves for possible Jay-Z references, and those interpretations keep feeding speculation about tension between the two rap giants. If Jay-Z believes those shots are actually aimed at him, though, fans are naturally wondering how long he's going to stay quiet. That's something that the internet, they made 3 songs after that happened. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's something that the internet just created, and tried to put some credence to. But there is no back and forth between Jay and Drake. Now, whether privately they feel a way about each other, that's a whole different thing that I think they probably have some whatever that is. We don't know that, but I'm just saying publicly, there is no back and forth between Jay and Drake. If Jay and Drake had an issue with each other, it would be clear. We wouldn't have to speculate and dissect, a bars and think, oh, who is he talking? It would be very direct, very blatant, from 2 of the best rappers that we've ever had. They know exactly how to direct lines and at each other. But you do agree they've thrown Drake, and his fan base have repeatedly sparked online conversations involving Jay-Z. And every new perceived jab makes people ask whether Have will eventually answer through music or simply ignore the noise. Drake seems comfortable keeping that speculation alive, almost like he's testing how far he can push things before somebody responds. And Jay-Z isn't exactly a rookie when it comes to competitive rap. His career includes some legendary lyrical battles and plenty of moments where he answered pressure on wax. So when Drake starts moving like this, people aren't just watching Drake anymore. They're watching Jay-Z too, waiting to see whether these supposed shots remain internet speculation or eventually turn into something much bigger. At this point, all fans can really hope for is that whatever happens next stays in the music and doesn't turn into another legal situation. It's entertaining when Drake throws slick jokes, takes shots at Roc Nation, clowns Rick Ross over the conversation surrounding Set in Stone, or sends messages toward other rappers he's had problems with. That's part of what makes hip-hop competition exciting. But if you're going to poke at people publicly, you've also got to expect that somebody might eventually poke back. And that's exactly why all eyes are now on Drake, Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Roc Nation, and everybody else getting pulled into this growing mess. Drake has made it clear that he still wants to talk his talk, and based on how fans interpreted this live stream, he doesn't seem interested in letting old rivalries quietly disappear. Whether these comments actually lead to new disc records is another question, but the tension is definitely giving the internet plenty to debate. If somebody from the other side decides to respond on wax, then fans are going to expect Drake to handle that response as part of the same competitive rap environment he stepped back into. No changing the rules halfway through. No pretending the energy came out of nowhere. Just bars versus bars, and letting the listeners decide who came harder. But now I want to hear what you think, because this entire situation has people picking sides all over again. What do you make of Drake taking shots at Ricky Ross while fans are already clowning the reported performance of Ross' latest project? Yes, man. We celebrating today. Right now is the 20th anniversary of my debut album. You see, we overseas. You know this was a part of the plan. I got DJ Nasty here with me. I got the team here with me. Car City here with me. It's going down. This how we moving. The heavyweight the boat. Oh man. One time for all my Car City man. I got Skinny out here with me, man. Skinny man was in that chain gang, baby. He ain't know he'll be over here and mother. Tell them what's happening. Skinny. What's happening, y'all? You already know. We're in Monaco. You already celebrate setting stones. You feel me? Setting stones right now. This real. This hustle real. Do you think Drake has earned the right to make these new, tough remarks based on his commercial success? Most importantly, what do you think Jay-Z and Roc Nation shot? If you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who has been following all this rap drama, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below so I can see where everyone stands on this one.